to help us look good as players. And because, Mr. President, it's sad that Tanzania are doing better than us in football. It is very sad. And we have been a powerhouse. You know, from the time you're supporting football, when you're young, Kenya was a powerhouse. None of these teams could come close to us. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Asante sana. Indeed, Your Excellency, we're grateful for your investment in sports and the creative economy. Your Excellency, sports and the creative economy are really a new economic frontier. Any given weekend, if you make time to go to Dandora, and you see Dandora Stadium, which we built as Nairobi County Government, the economic ecosystem there, we have 13 shops for the football teams affiliated there, tuliwapatia stalls. From the car wash guys, to wale mama wanapika chakula, to wale wanjugu, wa soda. It's an entire ecosystem, including the matatu people. Your Excellency, following your footsteps, we are now concluding building another 5 stadia. Woodley Stadium in Endelea, we're going to conclude it. Kangemi Stadium, ambayo we call it Kimbuini, it's ongoing. We've done the stand so far. City Stadium, Joka Denge, that we name after one of our greats, Joka Denge. The grounds are already done, and you said you will support me with the stands, you know, to make it go round. And Mwiki Stadium, Your Excellency. In this coming financial year which has started, we're going to do Ruto Stadium and many more grounds. You've come to Desa Ground when I took you to Isili, and you saw a small pitch. It's not expensive. Juzi, I took you to which one was that? Just the other day. In Makadara. Small ground, Uhuru, in Uhuru after we left church. That ground has a football pitch, changing room, social hall, basketball, netball. It didn't cost more than 40 million, boss. What we're asking for is not huge sums. If we're honest and efficient, just 60 million shillings, 50 million shillings. Every constituency in this county, our young people will have a place to play. Will have a place to spend their time. And it will give them hope. Your Excellency, vile nilichukua vijana, wengi walikuwa wajiamini. Their own lives. Your Excellency, we take time to mentor these young people. That they succeed, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. They have gone beyond what they thought. I have a goalkeeper here, Wapi Honest, Mohammed. This guy, Your Excellency, alishika penalty 9. Penalty. 9. And for the first time in so many years, became the MVP. You know, goalkeepers never become MVPs. Normally it's a striker, a midfielder. Si kweli? Mara ya mwisho goalkeeper kwa MVP ilikuwa lini? Tumpigeni makofi. Thank you so much. So hao ni kujituma kabisa. Your Excellency, within your team here, when the Nairobi United started, one of your people gave them their first jerseys. Dennis Itumbi. Tupigeni Deno makofi. He was there for them. Na unajua wakati hiyo pia alikuwa amesota kidogo. Alikuwa bado haja kafunga. But thank you so much, Deno. I must acknowledge that. Your Excellency, we also have a women's team. It's not just the boys, we have a girls team. Unajua Nyangi ule wako. Nyangi yako hapo. Nyangi alikuwa Gor Mahia sugu. Kutoka Gor Mahia ilikuwa shida. Tungeshindwa wangeaibika sana. But Nyangi, who also is your UDA coordinator within Pumwani, together with Silantoi, Susan, who is my Minister for Health, Wellness and Dishina County. That's what you're seeing Omevai. And Priscilla, hawa ndio wanaongoza women's team yetu. And that women's team has a lot of the Kanjo officers, the lady Kanjos. So hawa ndio Kanjo wanaongoza hao wengine. Si ndio hiyo? Siku zote. Tuko na youth team inaongozwa na Justo. Wapi Justin? My PA, Justin. Na Fazul. Fazul pia kwa youth team. Your Excellency, the team is not owned by me as a person. It's owned by the Sakaja Johnson Foundation. The chairman of the foundation is here, David, who is your friend, you know him very well. Na Osman the operator sasa kabisa. Osman nikiona simu yake na naona date inaenda karibu na mwisho wa mwezi, napatanga stress. Ni mshahara. Your Excellency, most teams are supported by corporates. Unaona sijui betting farms, nini. This one ni sisi kungangana na marafiki yetu. And we defeated all of those with millions. Because this country is not about those with millions of shillings in their accounts, but those with millions of ideas in their minds and in their hearts and the dreams that they have. So Excellency, sitaki niseme mengi. Hii kikombe inaitwa Mozart Bet Cup. Zamani ilikuwa inaitwa Moi Golden Cup. It is that same one, Moi Golden Cup. Ikaendelea ikakuwa President's Cup. Then later it got now commercialized. Tunaomba uirudishe. Ikue Ruto Golden Cup. Inachezwa Kenya mzima. Kenya mzima by all teams. And now that we won it, we're going to represent Kenya on the continental playing field. There's so many people here, Your Excellency, wanapata passport mara ya kwanza. Passport ya kwanza hawajaipata passport. Sasa wanapata passport ku represent Kenya. Mungu ni nani? Si God ni mso? Si God ni mso? God siku zote. Your Excellency, chairman wa club ambaye anaitwa Bon Maina. Ndugu yangu sana huyu. Ndio Bon alikuwa amengangana na hii team for a long time until I met him and told him, you know what, let me take some of this off your shoulder and make sure vijana wasifikirie chakula itatoka wapi. They focus on football. If we professionalize our sports in this country, Excellency, we have so much talent. But unapata mtu anachezea Harambee Stars ama anachezea sevens team ya rugby, but bado ni accountant mahali, bado sijui. Let's professionalize. We can win all of the global tournaments if we just let them focus on sports and sports at this time. Wameomba basi, Your Excellency. Ile basi wameomba sio kama ya high school. Si ile basi ya Swiss. Wacha niseme brand. Ni basi kama ile timu yako Arsenal. Basi unajua Kenya Police walikuja hapa. Hao wameshinda Premier League na sisi tunaenda kuonyorosha this season. Tunachukua Premier League. Si ndio hiyo? Lakini Your Excellency, imagine Kenya Police ni watu wako na mshahara ya serikali. Ni watu wanafanya kwa gava. Hao ni vijana wa mtaa. Na wameshinda. So ile basi wanaomba ni basi iko na intercooler ndani. Viti ni ile kemkem. Si ndio hiyo? Hata zinashuka chini kidogo na tumeidentify kule Scania na Mercedes. So utatusaidia si basi tu hivi ya high school. Ni basi noma, si ndio hiyo? The second thing, Your Excellency, amount kuomba tushirikiane. You know, many years ago, my team, AFC Leopards, that I've been part of for a long time, and Gor Mahia were promised shamba na Rais Moi. Walipromisiwa shamba kule Kasarani. Lakini ilikuwa story hawajaipata. Si ndio shikana mshaipata? Hawajaipata. Na kuomba ruhusa, Excellency, kama governor wa Nairobi, mimi niwatafutie shamba. Niwaloketie shamba AFC Leopards, Gor Mahia na Nairobi United. Nime-identify kule Mihango, Kibiko, 7 acres for this team. Nime-identify something for AFC Leopards. Nime-identify something for Gor Mahia. Ukiweka tu tick, utusaidie kwa hiyo kiwanja yetu, training ground. Because even FC was training here for a long time. Thank you so much. You gave us the chance over here. Utusaidie kujenga facility with PS Hinga. Akona architects. Tuchore gym, tuchore mahali ya kutrain, ya kuchange, na pia recreation. Si ndio hiyo? So mimi natoa shamba au utoe chapa. Just that. These boys, Your Excellency, unaona wamevaa wote traditional county. It's just symbolizing how they help us in the county. Whenever we have cleanups that we do at night, wanatokea. Wanatusaidia kwa environmental issues, kupanda miti, and wamejitolea because they understand what public service is, and they will never let you down. Your Excellency, it's been an unlikely journey, but we've rekindled the hopes of so many that if you believe in yourself, if you're diligent, if you focus, you can achieve what your heart sets its mind to. And it's a lesson to all our young people in this country, because there's been a lot of despair. There's been a lot of depression. and even politicians taking advantage of the sad situation of our young people. We are telling our young people, just like Nairobi United, God has a plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, for a hope and for a future." And when I took this team, I told them, God has a plan for your life. Let us not allow discouragement, negativity. Siku hizi magazeti yote wana compete gani kuna headline mbaya. Let it not get to you. Your success should show you that even in your life, in your family, in your business. Your Excellency, hapa kuna vijana kama huyu Shuba. Huyu nilimpata nikiwa mbunge 2015. Akwambia pale ametoka na pale amefika. He inspires so many young people from Kayole and across the city. Many of them, if they give you their story, that is the language we want our young people to understand. So vijana wetu, hata mkienda mtaani, let people know that there is hope, that there is a bright future. Mdosi wetu anawapenda. Marais wangapi wanakutana na timu ya ball? He is doing so much for our young people. Jukusot mambo ya vijana na youth wa Kenya haifanyikangi on its own. If you look at housing, it's deliberate. You must be deliberate. Zile serikali ambazo zilikuwa hazikuwa deliberate kwa mambo ya vijana. It was lip service. But in terms of, look at housing agenda. Almost 320,000 young people say wako na job. Hapa pia kuna watu wanajua mambo ya housing. If you look at kazi majuu, vijana wengi wameenda majuu, hata nyinyi mnawajua. Si ni kweli? Ukiangalia mambo ya digital jobs, it is deliberate. So people are trying to make it look like shida ya vijana imeanza 2022. Vijana wamekuwa kwa dimanga miaka mingi. Si ni kweli? Tumekuwa kwa dimanga, Your Excellency, but we've never seen a leader who is deliberate, focused, intentional on the issues of young people. For that, Your Excellency, we salute you. And we thank you. And we thank you. So, shika wa vijana, hii ni timu yako. Na unajua, mimi ni governor kwa sasa tu. Na naomba kwa majaliwa ya Mungu nirudi pia mimi tutam 2027. Si ndio? Bado nitakuwa patron. Lakini boss, 2032 utakuwa umemaliza urais. I will hand over patron kwako, mimi pia nitatafuta kazi nyingine hiyo time. So wakati hiyo tunaweza exchange, ni kuachie patron, afu hiyo nyingine Mungu mbele. Kwa hayo mengi nataka tumkaribishe rais na ile wimbo yetu. Wapi? Kuja. Rais akaribishwe vizuri.
Asante. Thank you very much. Nairobi United hoye. Hoye. Hamjambo. Assalamu alaikum. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Asanteni sana. Wacha nichukue nafasi hii kwanza niwakaribishe katika makao haya ya Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Karibuni. Mimi naelewa pia kwamba nyinyi ni watu wa shughuli mingi. Na kupata nafasi ya kunitembelea pengine inaweza kuwa ngumu. Lakini mkipata nafasi kidogo, mnakaribishwa tena. Kwanza mimi nataka niseme pongezi. Congratulations. Ushindi mlioupata. Mumenieleza ya kwamba ni kwa sababu ya Mwenyezi Mungu na bidii na usaidizi wa patron wenu na wale wengine wote, coaches na mlisema anaitwa kochare. Makochare na wale wengine wote. Na leo hapa tumekuja kusherehekea ushindi wenu. And I want to say in a very, very special way to Team Nairobi United, congratulations. You have exceeded all expectations. There are many people who did not imagine that a small team with no big brand name could win these championships. But because Kenya is a country of the art of the possible, you have won, and I can say from the experience and from the discussions I have had and from the history, this win is very well deserved. And as was said by the good gentleman who spoke in perfect Kiswahili, you went, you tried for one, God gave you a blessing of two. So you have 2 cups here which you have won out of your commitment, your dedication, your hard work. And I want to say, I know success doesn't come easy. It takes effort. It takes commitment. It takes trust in God. And it takes teamwork for there to be success. And I want to encourage you to continue to be each other's brother, each other's keeper, work together as a team, as was explained by your patron, that you are now a family, and build the bonds of family, of friendship, of unity amongst yourselves. Together, that is what will guarantee you not just the success that you have achieved, but even the Premier League, by God's grace, next year. From very humble beginnings, today you're here at State House. And I often get people who tell me that I have lowered the standards of State House. And the accusation I get is that those who used to come here, whenever they come here now, they cannot recognize anybody. Because the people who nowadays come here are ordinary people who have no status, who have no stature, who have no brand, who have no big names. You know? Wananiambia ya kwamba ati nimeteremsha sana standard ya State House. Ati wale walikuwa wanakuja hapa, watu ambao wamejulikana, watu wenye pesa mingi, former governor this, former sijui nani huko. Ati siku hizi wakikuja hapa State House, ati hawajui, hawatambui wale watu wanakuja huko siku hizi. Ni watu tu reja, watu tu kawaida, watu hawana. Lakini ni kwa sababu hata mimi ni mtu tu kawaida, nimefika hapa kwa mapenzi ya Mungu. Kuna watu walikuwa na matatizo sana, hata saa hizi bado hawajaamini mimi ni rais, bado wanahangaika. Si ndio? Lakini Mungu ni nani bwana? Mimi ndio niko hapa kwa sasa. Wajipange. Mimi ndio niko hapa kwa sasa kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, I'm here. Unaelewana? So mimi nataka vile Sakaja amewaambiwa, mujiamini. Si ndio? Mujiamini. Kwa sababu mkijiamini na muamini Mungu, nothing is impossible. Yale yote ambayo mmepangia, yale yote ambayo mmetarajia, Mungu atawawezesha. Bidii kwa kujitolea, by doing what you must. Kujituma. Usingoje mambo ya kupate nyumbani. You must step out. You must try again, you know, and never give up. God will finally make it possible for you to get what you're looking for. So congratulations, my good friends. And you make us very, very proud. You know, when I see the team, I try to catch up with some of your names. You know, I could see that we have a national team here. A team of the Kenyan community. A team that is truly the face, the brand, and the architecture of Kenya. You know, from all communities, from all faiths, people who come from different backgrounds, you have gelled into one formidable team that today we celebrate your success. And so it should be with our nation, you know? So it should be with our nation. That is why I will stand firm to reject the politics of ethnicity and division and hate and the politics that creates divisions among us Kenyans. I will stand very firm. Yeah. We have a broad-based government today because I reached out to even people who we did not vote together, but because they are Kenyans. They belong to this country. And I want to tell you that the government of Kenya is big enough to accommodate every community and every region and every sector of our republic. The government of Kenya is big enough. But it is not big enough for those who have greed, who think it should just be them. It should just be our corner. It should just be our religion or our community or our sector. You will never get enough. But today I can confirm to you that the government of Kenya is big enough to accommodate every community, every religion, every sector, every county. And as president, I will make sure, by all means possible, by God's grace, to make sure that we unite this nation. We come together, build this nation together. Because that is the essence of patriotism and nationhood. That is how we move the country forward. And looking at you, you represent the best of Kenya, what Kenya can achieve when people come together. You know, many of us here have stories to tell of where they've been, how they have come along, what challenges they've come through, what difficulties they've been through. But today, we are a family. You people are a team. And together, you have won. And that is why we are celebrating here today. So, pongezi. As you have said, I made a policy decision that we are going to support sports as a government because Kenya is a great sporting nation. From ball games to athletics and everything in between. And that is why I made the decision that the sports fund is not going to be used to fund anything else as was happening in the past. It will just concentrate on sports. And it is the reason why we are doing more for our sportsmen. We are looking at better avenues to resource, to reward, and to build infrastructure for our sportsmen and women. Today, I can proudly announce to you that the last time we built an international stadium in Kenya is 40 years ago, in 1984. Now, we are building a 35 billion shilling stadium right here in Jamhuri. And by the way, it's going to be ready by December. So, mujipange, ndio muwe wa kwanza wa kucheza pale. And it's going to be the largest stadium we have in Kenya. Football-only stadium. Yeah? Football-only stadium here in Jamhuri. So, 60,000-seater stadium. And it's not just that stadium. We are, as you know, we are building a stadium in Kakamega. We've just completed one in Bungoma. We are building a stadium in Ruringu in Nyeri. We've completed renovations so that we can hand over the stadium in Meru. We have one in Tharaka Nithi. We are now completing the stadium in Moyale. We are building a stadium in Siaya, which we are about to put a canopy on it. And on and on and on and on. And we are building another 35 sports academies where we are going to have different ball games and sports in those sports academies that come with us a little field and track and other things and associated infrastructure, because we are a sporting nation as Kenya, and therefore we must focus on how we encourage, how we build the talents of the young people of Kenya in sports and in the creative economy in general, to make sure that that talent becomes commercialized, helps and assists young people find opportunities to work, find opportunities for investment, and build a whole of society momentum using sports and other avenues to drive our country, Kenya, forward. So, good people, I am very proud to have a partner in Sakaja, the governor of Nairobi. Thank you very much, Governor. And thank you very much for standing in the gap for these young people. You know, very few people can deploy their resources, you know, to support others, to work with others, to lend a hand for the people who need it, and to work with teams like the way my good brother Sakaja has, especially around where young people are. So I'm very proud of this. When he requested me that there is Nairobi United that won the FKF Cup, I told him without a doubt, I'll create time. We must look out. And I want to tell the young people of our nation, the young people of our nation are the greatest resource we have. It is the reason why I have put more resources in making sure that our young people are educated, they are trained. We have increased the budget on education by 120 billion to make sure that there are teachers, there is sufficient resources to make sure that our young men and women in primary school, in secondary school, in our universities get the best education they can get, because that resource of human capital, especially the young people of our nation, is the greatest asset we have as a nation. It is the reason why we are also, you know, working on the curriculum to make sure that those who are good in academics get an opportunity to be their best. Those who are good in sports also get the opportunity to be their best. And those who are good in the creative economy can also be the best that they can be. And we continue to support education, training in all its, you know, spectra, from sports to the creative economy, all the way to academics, because we have talents in all those spaces. It is also the reason why, apart from spending 650 billion shillings every year in the education and training of the young people of Kenya, for the first time, let me say it again, for the first time in the history of Kenya, we have a coherent plan and program of how to create opportunities for work for the young people of our nation. I say this without fear of any contradiction, because there has never been a clear plan on how we are creating jobs, a plan that is intentional, that is deliberate on how we create job opportunities. When I rolled out the program on housing. Many people were asking me, what the hell about houses? What is this about houses? Who doesn't have a house? We had all manner of debates around housing. Let me tell you, it wasn't so much about the jobs. It wasn't so much about the houses. It was so much about the jobs. Today, I can tell the nation that because of the housing program, for which I have paid a very high political price, there are 320,000 people, young people, working, engineers, quantity surveyors, architects, plumbers, electricians, masons, carpenters, name them, working in our housing program. And not just housing, in the markets we are building, in the hostels we are building. And I am very proud that today there are people who earn money, who have a wage to look after their families. They have food on the table, and they are making progress. It is deliberate, it is intentional. I can also tell you today, because we have rolled out our digital jobs program across Kenya. I was in Ruiru the other day at the Tattoo City, where CCI has given opportunities to 5,000 people, young people in one building to earn money, to have a job. And they are on and on and on. Just last month, Teleperformance, the largest BPO company in the world, has just opened up an office in Nairobi. And it is because of our intentional and deliberate plan to create jobs for young people in the country, because we cannot spend 650 billion every year to educate our young people and train them if we don't have a commensurate plan on what they do when they get out of school. I can now tell you that we have close to 180,000 young people working on the digital jobs platform. And that platform is growing. We are now expanding it to every ward, in every constituency, in every county in the Republic of Kenya, because we can create more jobs. We can create more commerce. We can do more enterprise and more business using our digital jobs platform. And we are doing it intentionally. We were supplying internet, or fiber optic for that matter, using cables before. It took long, more expensive, but we have now developed a different way of deploying fiber optic around Kenya, using the transmission lines of Kenya Power. We are doing more, we are doing better, we are doing faster, and it is my intention that every ward in Kenya will have an ICT hub where between 300 and 500 young people can monetize their talents, can earn money, can do business, can have a job working for companies in Kenya, companies outside Kenya, because we need the young people of Kenya engaged. I can also tell you today proudly that we have streamlined our export of labor strategy. We have streamlined the program of Kenyans being able to work outside Kenya. And it's not just working outside Kenya. Ask any global company. They will tell you the best human capital, the best global workforce is the Kenyan workforce. That is why you find Kenyans everywhere. In every capital in our continent, in every major city globally, you have Kenyans, because we have the best human capital. Less supervision, very hardworking, good English, very disciplined. That is what defines our nation. And I can tell you today that we have streamlined the space around National Employment Authority. We have removed the crooked people who are taking money away from young people and taking them to do odd jobs. We have removed all the bad behavior in that space. We have signed bilateral labor agreements to guarantee that every Kenyan who goes to work outside Kenya is safe and does the job for which they applied. And as a result, mnanisikia, as a result, for the last 2 years, and those who are asking, they want to know the names, they can go to National Employment Authority. For the last 2 years, we have placed 400,000 Kenyans in different parts of the world to work, earn money, and repatriate that money to come back home. And my intention is to make sure that 1 million Kenyans in the next 2 to 3 years will be working outside Kenya. Because we are a global workforce. We have the talent, we have the knowledge, we have the expertise that we can deploy to grow our nation. And the good news, do you know how much money Kenyans working outside Kenya send home to Kenya every year? Now it's going to be, by this year, $5 billion. $5 billion. That is the wealth of our nation. That is the talent. That is the effort. That is the expertise of our Kenyan people. And therefore, it breaks my heart when people who have no plan for the young people of our nation take them to the streets, abuse them in the streets, misuse them in the streets, and we end up with mayhem, rape, destruction of property, destruction of businesses, because there are people who have no plan for the young people of our nation. They have no known or credible plan. They sing about the young people of Kenya. They talk about Gen Zs because they want to use them politically. I want to tell those people who have no plan, shame on them. They should be ashamed of themselves that they have taken advantage of our young people, taken them to the street, and misuse them. And today, our nation has a blot, you know? Biashara zimechomeka, watu wameharibiwa mali, tumepoteza maisha ya vijana wetu, tuko na majeraha, na mambo haya mengine yote. Why? Because there are people who have no plan. They cannot tell the young people what they should be doing. I want to tell the young people of my nation, I want to tell the young people of Kenya, there are opportunities for work. There are opportunities for business. There are opportunities for you to make a difference in your life. Don't accept to be taken to advantage of by leaders, people who have no plan for your lives. And I say that without fear of any contradiction. I want to challenge those who today say they support the street protests. What is your plan? What is your plan for these young people? William Ruto, I have one plan, credible, tested, working. I have 320,000 young people working in my housing program. Engineers, architects, plumbers, quantity surveyors, carpenters, masons, working. I have 180,000 young people working in our digital jobs platform, in different, both in special economic zones, in ICT hubs, in Jitume centers. I have 400,000 young people placed in different jobs in many parts of the world, and the list is going on. Our housing program is expanding opportunities. We are at 150,000 houses. We will be at 700,000 houses. We are at 320 jobs today. We are going towards 1 million jobs in the next 2-3 years. And so is the space around digital jobs. And so is our export of labor. What is your plan, you people who are taking our young people to the street? Tulizane ukweli? Yes. I want my plan to be tested on employment of young people, on dealing with the issues of young people. I want my plan to be tested against that of my competitors. Yeah? Because they don't have a plan. If you ask them, they don't have a plan. They will tell you kasongo, oh, sijui nini, nothing. Sijui kama naelewana. Tuko pamoja? And so, I want to say this, and I'm very proud to be in the middle of young people. People wamejituma, you know? People who have come from different backgrounds, gone through difficulties, they've gone through challenges, but they've stayed focused. They've stayed on course. And today, we are celebrating Nairobi United. Yeah? Sinikweli? Yes. Not because you had it easy. Not because you came from a better background. Not because you have more education than others. But because you have committed yourselves to a course. You have stayed on the course. You have withstood different challenges. You've gone through difficult times, but you didn't give up. You were always there, pressing on. Today, we are celebrating Nairobi United. Your success. Look at what you have achieved. You know, you have defeated Tusker. You have defeated KCB. Do you know how big KCB is? They made 70 billion Kenya shillings this year. How much money did your team? You know? So it's not about the money. Yeah? If it was about the money, you wouldn't be here. Right? So you've defeated KCB. You've defeated Kogalo. You know, Gor Mahia. You know, the legend of football in Kenya. Your team, since 2018, just the other day, right? But you're here. Why? Because mumejituma, you are determined, you have refused to give up, you are on it, you're focused, and that is why you have succeeded. That is the spirit. That is the spirit. That is the spirit of what makes winners and what makes success. That is the spirit. So I am very proud to be associated with this team. Congratulations, my very best wishes. And I just want to confirm to you that we will continue to expand the space around infrastructure, you know. The other day, I saw some of the criminals. They tried to go and break into Talanta. They tried to break into some of our stadia. I mean, surely, what has a stadia got to do with a demonstration? Surely, how is a demonstration ending up in rape, destruction of property, destruction of business? What is that? What kind of a protest? When the law says whoever wants to protest, whoever wants to demonstrate must be peaceful and must be unarmed. That is the standard for any demonstration. But surely we need to ask ourselves as the people of Kenya, how is it that a demonstration or protest ends up in death, in rape, in destruction of property, in destruction of business? And is that really what we want to do as a nation? I dare say no. That's not what it is. And that's why I have said we must all respect the law, irrespective of who we are, irrespective of what we believe in. We have a nation to keep. And for now, I am the custodian of that constitution, and I will make sure that I will defend the constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Tuko pamoja, my friends? Yes. Until somebody else takes over, I am here, and I will make sure that hii mchezo tunawachana naye. So, the bus. The bus. You know, I have experience in buying buses because I have bought so many buses. Sasa mimi naona hii ya Sakaja hii sijaelewa hii ni gani. Sasa nitachukua lessons kidogo nijue hii ni gani. So lakini the bus you will get. Hata nitapanga hapo kwa bus. Unajua biashara kubwa mimi nafanya, mimi nauza mayai. Mko na group inafanya hiyo Huko kwangu at the farm, if you come, I'm a chicken farmer. And I'm very proud of it, by the way. I'm very proud. It's the best business that I have. Kuuza mayai. So, na iko na biashara. Iko na pesa. Acha niwaambie. Ukitaka tips naweza kuwapatia. I have recruited many friends of mine when they come to my farm and they see mtu anasema, "Ai, nataka wacha niende nianze kidogo." Hata huyu nilimpeleka huko. So, unajua zamani tulikuwa tunaagiza mayai kutoka South Africa. Unaona ile upuzi iko hii dunia? I mean surely mayai kutoka South Africa inaweka kwa ndege na sisi tunang'edia tu hapa tuna hapana. So tuko hapo na sasa tunaendelea kuwa wengi kutengeneza hiyo biashara. That's how you grow a nation. That's how you create food security. Si ndio? So nitaangalia vile nitafanya hiyo biashara yangu itasaidia, nitawapangia basi. Nitawapangia basi. Sawa sawa. Alafu huyo jamaa alisema niwe investor. Kwa group zenu 5, okay? So lakini hamjanipatia investment plan. Mko nayo mpaka dividends. Haya, basi nitatafuta milioni 10 niweke kwa hiyo biashara. Milioni 2, si ndio? Lakini sasa dividend lazima, please. Musifanye tukakosana. Waeleze vizuri. Na niko na askari wengi mkiniletea naweza kuwaletea noma sana. Sawa. So tutafanya hivyo alafu tutapangana. Sawa sawa boss. Very good bana Maina. Alafu ile mambo ingine nafikiri Sakaja atasort. Tanieleza. Nimekubali mimi nafanya kazi na governor wetu hapa, it's doing a wonderful job. Mpigeni makofi. Tunashughulika na mambo ya barabara za Nairobi. I have already cleared bwana Sakaja from next week tutengeneze barabara. Zingine barabara zilikuwa zimekwama hapa. You can now see the constructions are going on around the city of Nairobi because vile governor anasema lazima Nairobi work, it must work. Na haiwezi kuwork kama hakuna barabara ya kupitia. So namshughulikia kumsaidia kupanga mambo ya barabara. Vile vile niko na mradi mkubwa Unajua hapa Nairobi tuko na Nairobi River. Hii Nairobi River imekuwa sio river, ni Nairobi sewage. Kwa sababu badala ya river ile inateremka huko sio maji, ni uchafu, ni oils imewekwa huko ndani, ni maji taka iko kule ndani. And I committed myself that Nairobi, being the United Nations Environmental Program headquarters, meaning that Nairobi is the capital of environment globally, or the global capital of environment, we must make Nairobi clean. So, Governor anashughulika na kupanga vile tutaokota takataka, tumalizane nayo, and I am supporting him. Lakini nilimwambia Nairobi River, mimi nitakusaidia, nitaosha Nairobi River. So, I have started the program. Mutaona vile Nairobi River itabadilika. Na nimesema by tarehe 15 January 2027, I will have finished hiyo kazi. So, mutaona saizi Nairobi hapa, we are cleaning the nini, tutaweka gabion vizuri, tutaweka maji, mpaka iwe maji ya Nairobi River, it will be clean. Na tuweke samaki huko ndani, na ikae sawa sawa. And alongside it, tutajenga pia social housing, infrastructure, tutaweka mahali ya vijana kucheza mpira, tutaweka mahali ya recreation, tutaweka footpaths ya kutembea, so that we can have a city. It is one of the commitments that I have made, so that we can change the course of our city and make Nairobi work. Sindio? So, inaanza kule karibu Kikuyu, all the way mpaka Ruai. So that program is going on, and already I am mobilizing. We already have 20,000 young people working there. From next week or the week after, we are adding another 20,000 kufanya hiyo kazi hapa to Nairobi, just to make sure that we clean up the city, we change the face of Nairobi, and we take it forward. Tunaelewana, my friends? So, unajua, transformation ya nchi sio kazi rahisi. Ni kama kuzalisha mtoto. Iko makelele, zingine mama kujifungua iko nduru mingi, mimi nasikiaga tu wa mama. So, hii kelele ya hapa saa zingine ni kwa sababu driving transformation is not easy. But without transformation, you achieve nothing. You get stuck, you mark time, and you go backward sometimes. So, I am committed to making sure that we change our country, and we take the country forward. I know we have lunch, and you are wondering, huyu jamaa atamaliza saa ngapi? Hii lunch imengoja sana. So ndio? So wacha niseme asanteni sana. Vile niliwaeleza, najua mko na shughuli. Na sio kidogo. Nyinyi ni watu wa kuhustle. Lakini mkipata kana nafasi kidogo, tafadhali mnitembelee tena. Sindio? So asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki sana. I wish you well. Nyinyi na familia zenu na watoto wenu na majamaa zenu, mwapelekee salamu nyingi, na baraka nyingi, na katika maombi yenu yote Mungu awasaidie, awajibu na awapatie yale yote mmemuomba. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.